This is how we're doing it. I don't give a shit. If I see an audio spike, I'll see an audio spike.
Fine.
I can see
All right.
it. It's
so who's
visual
doing
thing.
the intro?
It's not an intro. Let's just go. This is a podcast.
All right. Well,
So
first
the
official.
first thing. Yeah. Okay. So this is the TriGuys Entertainment first official podcast, and we got first thing we got written down here is opening. So that's done.
Fucking
I'm Alex.
I'm
Check.
Alex, Bruce. Al.
I'm
Try
not
Guy.
always here, but I mean, fuck.
That's TriGuys.
Let's try guys. There's
So, I mean, the
guys
people-
here, and I mean, try guys. Honestly,
Okay.
guys aren't bad.
Hello.
there's
Talking.
3 of us. Yes.
Talking.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay. So before.
Fucking fat ass. You're eating all the candy.
I ate one.
I hate you.
Okay.
I
So
ate one punch bar.
Gentlemen, the first thing I have written down on my list is
He
that
ate one bleep
you
bar.
all wanted
Crunch
that
is
we,
a very...
the idea. I feel like a fucking middle school teacher. Well, everybody quiet down, please. Everybody quiet down. You know what? Fuck the list. Al, you remember who's your least favorite middle school teacher? Because now we got
Middle school teacher?
Yeah, your least
Otten.
favorite. I know who mine was.
Otten.
Otten.
Otten or Klapchak?
I didn't like Miss Otten. You weren't even in Mrs. Otten's class for very long.
I was in there for like a day.
Yeah,
And I immediately get kicked out.
Yep, that was hilarious, though. I thought that was very funny how 13-year-old me was very amused by that.
But what about,
Okay, so here, let's tell the story behind that. So I'm going to tell the story behind that from my perspective. So
that was Hawk, I thought. I got kicked out of Hawk.
You got kicked out of both, Al.
And then let's not forget Miss Charleston's.
I wasn't there for that.
I got kicked out of that class, too.
Okay, I just want to tell the story from my perspective.
And you do that.
This
Bruce.
was in 7th grade. 7th grade, Mrs. Otten's room. So we're out of school now, but me and Al have known each other since we were 12.
6th grade.
Since we were 12. So, basically, I was 13, I was in 7th grade, and, I don't like anybody in the class. We got Braden. You remember Braden?
Oh, fucking Braden.
Fucking Braden. Alright, we're not gonna talk about Braden. But, yeah, this
No
kid
last
named
names,
Braden.
please.
Braden was, like, the only kid I knew in that class. Everybody else was just an asshole, because, like, everybody's an asshole in high school, and people
Middle
in high
school.
school. Or middle.
Okay,
In school. What's up,
I'm
Al?
gonna stop you guys. Since I'm not part of the story whatsoever, I'm gonna get some milk or some drink. Anyone want anything?
Alright,
Um,
don't knock anything
you
over.
might freedom.
Grab me a water, or, you know what, actually, is there apple juice around here?
No, it's all piss, Bruce.
It's all pee bottles, dude. All right. Well,
No, apple juice.
Alright, nailed it. Alright, sweet. Anyway, give me my Fritos and that bottle of water, please. I appreciate
all right.
it.
I'm gonna
Alright.
grab a bunch of milk cartons too.
Okay.
So where are your Fritos bag?
It's somewhere.
Okay, the audience is waiting. So now, where was I?
Braden,
So everybody's an asshole in my class. Shout out to the ambient door closing and stair running up sounds. But no, so everybody's a fucking asshole in that class, and so then Al's there, and I'm like, sweet, Al's here. Class is gonna be awesome. So
I
Al
haven't just showed up. I showed up. How late into the school year would you say?
It was like 2 weeks.
It was like 2 weeks in. All right, so let me just put that timestamp in there. 2 weeks into the school year, I'm in a new math class. Let me just set that in there. Continue your story.
All right. So, anyways, we're in Mrs. Otten's class, and I'm like, "Yay, Al's here. This won't be a piece of shit." And then, so Al shows up. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what you doing?" So, these things in our school are called 20 questions. They're fucking stupid. They hand out 20 questions.
Not in our school, in Miss Otten's class.
No, they were in our school. They spread like fucking wildfire
Because of Miss Otten.
Because of Miss Otten. Because everybody's like, "That sounds like a good idea." Communism sounded like a good idea. Anyways, 20 questions. You have to fill out the 20 questions, and then and then you turn them in at the end of the week. You have to show all your work, and it's not an effort-based thing. You get them wrong, you get them right. If not, fuck you. It's going on your grade.
Right.
You can't turn them in. You can't revise them. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Great system. Anyways, so I'm fucking doing my 20 questions, and I fucking hate math and science. Those are my things. Anything computer, English, fucking history, I'm great at. What?
Where's the water bottles?
In the fridge.
In the fridge or under the table.
Okay.
Okay, but fucking math and science, not good at them. Don't like them at all. So I'm fucking struggling with these. Al's pretty good at math, at least, and so Al finishes his questions
In like 5 minutes.
like
flat.
the whole thing in like 5 minutes, and he turns them up there, and Mrs. Otten's like, "You didn't show any work." And keep in mind, this is 7th grade math, so I mean, it's not.
And at this point, I was like operating at like a 10th grade math level. I was good at math.
Yeah,
I was really good.
He's good at math. I'm not. That's the end of the story. But so he comes in and he's like, and she's like, "You didn't show any work," and he's like, "It's not hard. It's not hard. I don't need to show work if it's not hard." And she's like, "Yes, you do." And he's like, "Oh, well, fuck you. And he ripped the paper in half and walked out. And that's the last time I saw Al in that classroom.
I looked at her and I was like, that's fucking dumb. And I grabbed the paper, the 20 questions, and I ripped them right down the middle, dropped them, and just walked the fuck out of that classroom.
And I remember she chased you out and tried to get you to stop, and you just didn't stop.
Nope, I just walked myself right down the office because I was there every day. And I was a bit of a badass in middle school. I'll admit it. By badass, I mean I disrespected authority for no reason. A rebel without a cause. Yeah. Math, I was super good at it. Math teachers didn't like me at all because
they're okay,
dumb.
Let me explain to you the average middle school math teacher. It's a middle-aged woman who went back to college 4 or 5 years after she had kids, and now she thinks she knows a ton of shit because she went to college.
Honestly, I believe that 100%. By the way, I'm back, everybody.
Alex is back.
And I couldn't find water bottles. There are none.
Drink your milk.
I'm drinking
fat free. So that's my definition. Like, I know if your mom's like a high school or like a teacher, I apologize. But
Bruce, you honestly don't care though.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't care. That was a courtesy apology. I mean, like, just God, people who like just because you have a college education, it doesn't mean you have common sense. Common sense is something that can't be taught.
True.
Okay.
Right.
I mean.
Okay. Well, let me get back to the story.
Bruce Zimmer, 2014.
Yeah. Anyways, so let me go back to the story. I started off the school year with a teacher named, I do believe, Miss Charleston. I started off with Miss Charleston. I went ahead and I started math class there, and everything was pretty simple. You know, everything was really easy and stuff. A very common problem with math, in my opinion, was that no matter what math class you had, no matter what teacher you had in middle school, they always had this inbred fucking thought that you need to show your work because when you get to high school, you will fail unless you show your work.
Which is
and
fucking
honestly,
bullshit.
Yeah, I've never had to show my work.
Speaking of, Alex is still in high school, so
I'm a sophomore currently, and honestly, I've never shown my work, and they're just like, fine.
Yeah,
cool. High school teachers so much more laid back, so much nicer.
God, yeah.
Well, at least in our area and in our experience, but
yeah. So basically,
just everything I heard, like elementary school, you're not going to carry a calculator around with you everywhere you go. I
got a phone.
I have a phone.
That's the point. Middle school, it's going to be 10 times harder in high school. You have to show all your work, and if it's late,
they don't accept papers unless it's in cursive.
And
that was the big one.
Honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. Ever since I was taught cursive in elementary school in 3rd grade, I have only used it to sign paychecks. I've never ever used it on another English assignment.
Okay, so and then in high school they don't accept papers late. Another story. I did an entire class on the last day of school.
Same here.
I did the entire Earth Science. I did
sophomore.
My sophomore, yeah, but it's Earth Science.
Yeah, sophomore Earth Science. The entire class was competency based, and we talked to our teacher last week of the entire class.
For me, it was the last day in the last 2 hours of school. I turned in every competency of the course
and passed.
All right.
Same. I had a week because I just didn't want to devote that much time all at once.
But that's just me. Like I do everything in a binge. Like,
yeah, true. But anyways, so like that was like the common thing. So I was in Miss Charleston's class for about, I want to say 2 weeks, and then finally we had our point where, because I had a lot of anger issues, and like the thing that fucking did it for me was I had an anger issue, and one of the things was if you have an anger issue, I was able to tell the teacher, and it was like part of my one of my plans. If I felt angry, I could tell the teacher, and no matter what, I would be able to be excused from that class and go and work it out. All right, I'm like, Miss Charleston, I need to go. I'm having a problem. She goes, nope. Oh, Miss Charleston, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation at hand right now. I'm
freaking the fuck out.
I'm 14. All right, I weigh 275 pounds. Okay, I could fucking eat you, Miss Charleston. Just let me go. Just let me go. And I said fucking in front of her, and this is like little 7th grade Al, you know. And I said fucking in front of her. She lost it there. Now she's mad. I'm fucking furious. All right, and she goes, you know now, you just go get right down to the office. I fucking punched the locker as hard as I could, bent the locker. I don't know if you ever saw that locker.
I never saw that locker.
I fucking bent the shit out of this locker from one punch. I was like, good, that's where I want to go. I walked down to the office, and then they made me. I had to give them like $50 for bending a locker because of the destruction of school.
Didn't
property.
do it.
No, I didn't. Never.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, again.
And then I went ahead and I went down to the office, had ISS. Went up to ISS, which was dumb. One move mouse real quick.
Mouse? Oh, yeah.
I went up to ISS, dumbest fucking thing ever. I preferred OSS way more.
You know what I mean? Out of school.
Yeah.
Keywords.
Oh yeah, ISS is in-school suspension. OSS is out-of-school suspension.
I guess not a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that when you first told me that. I was like, what is ISS? Is that like a military form? I don't know.
Yeah, they drop you on the ground and they make you do push-ups, but they like put their nutsacks over your head, so you have to touch them every time you go up.
That's ISS.
That's ISS. It's hardcore.
No, but that was my first 2 weeks of 7th grade math.
Yeah.
And then I left that class with Miss Aunt. I was there for literally like 30 minutes. I walked in, I sat down, and she said, hi, Al's here, he'll be here now. 20 questions, handed them out. I did them like in 10 minutes flat. She was sitting at her desk, like, hey, I'm done. Oh, you can't turn this in. Why not? No work shown. I did it though. How do I know you didn't cheat?
Nobody else is fucking done, you dumb cunt.
No one else is done. And she's like, you probably used your cell phone. I don't have a cell phone. Because I didn't have a cell phone.
Because we're all poor as shit, by the way.
Yeah, let's just toss it out.
We're all fucking poor as shit. Like, pretty much all of our money goes into computers and equipment. Like, we have no,
I mean, like,
this is the only nice thing we own.
I have the iPhone 4. It is 2014. I have the iPhone 4. Back is smashed, getting an upgrade in 2 months. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We're not like
phones are pretty inexpensive. Like we are at the bottom of the middle class.
We are at the bottom of the barrel of the middle class.
Because I mean, I know a lot of people I know are like, ooh, I can't wait to get a laptop for Christmas. Good for you. I own one nice thing and I get it once a year. You know, that was my experience growing up. I got like one nice thing a year sometimes.
Yeah.
My experience.
Then when I got older, it was just like, fuck you. Get a job.
Well, my experience growing up was my parents for my birthday got me nothing ever. I never got anything. We completely relied on other people bringing me gifts. My parents never did anything for me. The best my parents ever did for me on my birthday was to get me a special type of cake I liked.
Dude, nice.
And they're like, this is a $10 cake, Al. You best like it. And I'm like, fucking yeah, I do. This is my cake.
Okay.
Anyways,
on the scale of poorness, by the way, it goes Al, me, and Alex. Alex is the richest of the poor in this situation.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've got a huge house, but I'm house poor. There's nothing in the house except just junk everywhere, and it's unorganized, and it's awful. I mean, Bruce, I'm probably only doing better than you is because I have 2 people in my household who have a job that are over 18.
Right.
It's just you and your dad here, and at my house, it's a family of 4.
Right. Yeah.
So the only reason I'm doing better is because, 2
just
jobs.
second income.
Yeah, second income. So that's the only reason I'm making more money.
Al, you have one, Al, you are lower class. Me and Alex are bottom of middle class. You are lower class.
I mean, I have my mom that does the one shitty job that pays literally like $25,000
what does your mom
a year.
do again? Does she work for a school?
She works with special ed children.
Yeah, that's what
she works with
so
special. She gets paid if she were to leave the school she's at right now and go to a different school, she'd get paid $50 an hour on an hourly wage. But where she is right now, she gets amazing health benefits. I think it's $25,000 a year, which isn't good at all.
Yeah, it's not good, but I mean,
health benefits. Literally, I'm pretty certain that's qualifying for lower class.
You're lower class.
My dad is a bum who drinks all of our money away. So I mean, fuck Al, but whatever. Me growing up, never got anything. Christmas, really dull. The only thing, I woke up for Christmas and I got underwear and socks. Everyone's like, oh, I got clothes for Christmas. I got fucking clothes for Christmas. That's how it was.
Alistair says this with emphasis, clothes, man.
I got one nice thing and all clothes. I got all clothes. I didn't even I got 4.
Yo, no, it's like, this guy, fucking people are like, yo, man, I got fucking dumb clothes for Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Me as a kid, I was like, yo, I got fucking clothes this year. Yo, you want something cool this year? You know what I got? I got another shirt. I can afford another shirt for myself, right? High five. That was me. That was me growing up.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. Whenever you go to Alistair's house, his floor is always covered in clothes, and I'm like, how do you have... I never asked him.
That's all they get.
It's he all ever got was just clothes.
Hey, what fucking holiday is it? Clothes.
Yeah. Well, it's like my parents you're growing out of this and stuff. But the thing was, when I was a kid, I was really really fat. All right. And then as I've gotten older, I went through kind of a fat phase where I got a bunch, I got a few, bigger things. But now I'm thinning out again, and literally I can fit in a medium size shirt.
Really?
See, bullshit.
No, I can't.
No way.
It's tight. It's tight. I can fit.
No, okay. Fitting it. Well, I can't. Al, I'm skinnier than you, and I can't fit in a medium shirt.
No, I've worn medium size shirts. I've worn.
Alex, you wear shirts like you're fucking You're sure?
Wait, we're talking about school. We're talking about school.
Okay, but first, like, let me just. Okay, yeah, school. Okay, I'm gonna
start.
Whoa.
This is how a podcast is supposed to work, where you're supposed to kind of drift off.
Yeah, okay, we definitely got drifted off, but let's get back. Let's bring it back. We brought up Mrs. Hawk, and I want to.
No, yeah, that was where I'm going next.
This is my next story. Let me tell it from my perspective first, because I probably don't remember it as well. Okay, so I'm sitting in class, same fucking deal. Al's in this class, everybody else is an asshole.
It's also a really small class, like 7 kids.
And it's great.
And
let me explain to you, like, Mrs. Hawk's a bitch. Okay,
let's on the real scale, though, fucking bitch.
Alright, and let me just say, I don't go to these guys at school, I don't know who this chick is, so I'm just gonna, like, not talk, sorry.
Yeah.
For anyone who likes my voice.
So my thing, this year was just much more melodramatic. Like, it wasn't like last year where it was like a fuck you and rip the paper up in front of her. Al was just like, no. And she's like, well, Al, if you're not gonna do it, you can't be a part of this class. Thanks, I'm out. I'm outie. That's how I remember. It was much less of a, you know what, go fuck yourself, and more like an, alright, it's fine with me, bitch.
I actually really specifically remember one thing about that one. I remember a conversation about my fingernails.
And I always just remember sitting down and being like, is this happening again? Well,
fuck goes my school here.
Yep, I'm stuck with assholes for an hour of my day.
Well, the whole thing with Miss Hawk was, I just didn't like Miss Hawk. I've heard stories about Miss Hawk, and she was just a fucking bitch. And I walked in there, and she's like, Al, you gotta sit down. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna sit down. She's like, well...
Yep, okay, I remember. Because I'm like, oh, sweet, Al's in here, instantly. Refused to sit down for no reason. Alright, Al's not gonna be in here for long.
I walked in the door, I walked 3 feet past the door, I'm in front of the class, I'm looking at people. Miss Hawk's like standing to my right, like next to her desk.
I remember I was sitting on the right side of the classroom in like the middle row. That's where I was sitting. And you went over to me, and I think she said something to you that stopped you from sitting down. Like, I think you were saying something to me in the process of sitting down, and then she said something, and you're like, if she told you to sit down while you were about to sit down, you're like, you know what, no.
No, I was?
That's what it was, though. I was just a rebel without a cause. And she's like, Al, you gotta sit down. I'm like, nope, not doing it. she's like, if you're not gonna do it, then you gotta go. And I'm like, alright, fine, bye. And I just left, and I didn't come back.
Never saw Al again in that class again. Stuck with assholes. Who was it? I forget who it was, but I got caught cheating in that class. Not me. Because, okay, when I say I'm bad at math, I don't mean I'm horrible at math. I mean, I'm not bad, but I'm okay. Because, I'm not the dumb kid in the back of the room who's like, can we go over it again? I don't understand. Like, I'm the guy who gets it, but I just fucking don't.
Apply it.
I just don't apply it, just because I don't want to. So in that class, I found people asking me a lot of questions, because again, there's like 6 people in that class, and 4 of them are dumb. There's 1 smart kid, there's me, who's like the average kid, and then there's 4 dumb kids. So I end up getting, the smart kid's an asshole. Like a big asshole. Like, the other 4 kids are dumb, but they're all pretty alright, they're just not my friends. And then, so nobody wants to talk to the smart kid because the smart kid's an asshole. So who do they come to? The mediocre kid.
Can you turn it like this?
What the hell are you doing, Alex? That's the only...
Tell your story.
Okay. So so everybody's coming to me because I'm the only average kid there. And then, so we're in the middle of a test and some girl's like, hey, it was Miranda. Hey, how do I do this? And I'm like, you do this. And she's like, what? I'm like, you do this. God damn it, you do this. But, I didn't say it like that, but and then I'm like, and she's like, oh, okay. And is this the right answer? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And then Mrs. Hawk's like, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm like, nothing. Nothing. Not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, and then she just went over and took both of our papers. And I'm like, well, fuck me.
I remember,
yeah, that was my experience in Mrs. Hawk's class. So,
you know who I remember?
Who?
I remember, 2 people. I remember Mr. Jones. The fucking man.
Never had him.
You never had him? Mr. Jones was the man. I remember he pissed me off one time, and I did something, like, super drastic in his class. But he was so fucking cool, and he understood that I was mad that day. And he was like, oh, Al just had a bad day. He can come back anytime. Whenever he's off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was a fucking cool dude. And I was just having a bad day, and I did something really dumb. And he was like, Al, just don't do that again. I understand you're having a bad day, but next time just tell me, and I'll let you leave the room. Anytime, I won't stop you. And I'm like, all right, sweet, this guy's fucking all right, because I had like a little test type deal thing. And what happened was, we all had those trapezoid tables, all right. I'm sitting at this trapezoid table. I'm talking to 3 people, and like unbeknownst to me, right? I'm talking to these 3 people. I turn around and I realize like half the class is looking at me. And I'm like, and Mr. Jones was like, "Al, you need to stop talking." I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever. I'll stop talking." Instantly started talking again. All right, I started talking to him again, and Mr. Jones like jokingly was like, "Hey, Al, you need to calm down because you're just being a disruption." Lost my shit. Being a disruption, the snap. All right, that's what set me off. I was like, "Oh yeah, disrupting people?" He goes, "Yeah, Al, you're disrupting people." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm disrupting people, huh?" And he's like, "Al, you're really disrupting people now." "Oh, sorry, everybody. Looks like I'm disrupting you." Like I remember just being really retarded about it, and like he's like, Al, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know, just disrupting people." And he's like, Al, you need to go to the office. And I go,
he's like, "Oh no, I did it now."
Yeah, he's like, "Al, you need to go to the office." I'm like, "Okay, everybody, I gotta go because I'm disrupting you." And he's like, "Al, just please go." And I stood up, my chair went flying behind me, right? And I like grabbed my table and fucking threw it. Just like flipped it over. Alright? And he's like, "Oh god." I'm like, "Sorry everybody. Have fun learning about World War II." And like I left and I like slammed the door as best as I could because he had like those like shock loading ones.
Yeah, so that way they can't be slammed.
Yeah. And like I remember I tried slamming as hard as I could, and like I left and I heard Mr. Jones says the door's like paper thin. And he's like, "Well, that was interesting." Open the door back up. And I'm like, and we had those big bottles of Germex that are like a foot tall.
I remember hearing about this now.
And it was like a foot fucking tall. And I came back in and I was like, "I'm taking this fucking Germex." I grabbed it. Right? And I grabbed it. I started fucking walking down the hallway.
I met you in the hallway.
Yeah.
I met you in the hallway. I was going to the bathroom. I'm like, "Al, what the hell are you doing with the Germex?" You go, "Nothing," and slam it into a trash can.
I'm like, "Nothing." And I threw it so hard in the trash can when it hit
just
the bottom,
fucking exploded.
It went everywhere.
Holy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then I get ISS for like 3 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the Germex bottle.
And I come back in and Mr. Jones was like, "That was freaking awesome." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was really fun. You flipped the table and everything." It was like right on. And I was like, "Yeah, it was right on." And he goes, "By the way, what happened to the Germex?" I was like, "Nothing." I just sat back down. He still has no clue what happened to that Germex to this day.
Fucking in the trash. I'm pretty sure you didn't even throw it in the trash. I'm pretty sure you threw it in a recycling bin.
No, it was definitely a trash
Okay,
can.
I thought it was. I don't know. All right. Well,
I fucking slammed it though. I have a lot of good stories about middle school because middle school was fucking dumb.
yeah, middle school was dumb. I don't have any stories about middle school.
I can keep going.
I was the fat, quiet kid in middle school.
Evil beware.
It's
Evil
like
beware.
it's like me and Al switched from middle school to high school because Al was like the aggressive, or well, at least as far as aggression goes, because Al was like I was like the fat, quiet kid, and Al was like the loud, aggressive kid. And then Al became the loud, in high school Al was more like the loud, outgoing, happy guy, and then I became the quiet, angry guy. Which is always a good way, because I was bigger than most of the seniors in high school, in my freshman year, and when I say bigger, I don't mean like fatter, I mean like bigger.
Bigger. Bruce went from being like a kind of a chubby guy to like he hit puberty and his fucking traps. And that means like his fucking traps, all of a sudden like he had stretch marks all down his neck and on his shoulders and shit because his muscles just fucking grew.
Yeah.
So massively just from puberty. He didn't even work out. Just like puberty was like, hey,
Steroids.
this guy right here is gonna be fucking big. This one's gonna be the next fucking Hercules. Here we go. Ready? Watch this. BAM!
So,
Boom!
beginning of freshman year, 135 pounds fell on my chest when I was benching. Like 2 months into freshman year, I was benching over 200.
Oh yeah.
Immediately. At
Bruce and I
15.
started
at
doing it.
14 or 15, I don't remember.
It's 15.
Yeah. But, 15. But, yeah, so that was that. But, so I went to being this, and I had fucking, you guys don't know what I look like. Right now I have short hair. But when I was a freshman in high school, I had fucking majestic. Like, picture Simba from The Lion King.
No. What's his name?
Mufasa.
No, that's not him.
Come on, dude. It's one of the lions.
Scar?
No, I'm not talking lions. I'm talking, what's his fucking name? He's like a model and he does yoga and shit.
Ashton Kutcher?
No.
I've been compared to. People said I looked a lot like Bam, like a bigger Bam Margera.
Yeah.
I can kind of see
That's
that.
what people said.
I see it now when you have long hair.
I don't know.
I
Because
think
Bam Margera had hair like mine
Yeah.
in freshman year at one point.
Yeah.
Bruce, if you're going for an intimidating look,
But-
go with the long hair.
Yeah, definitely.
Long
I looked a
hair is
lot. I looked a lot scarier. Like people weren't nearly. Like I shaved my head, and people were like, "Hey, this guy doesn't look so scary anymore."
Looks like he's not holding a knife in.
Also, whenever I got invited to like big events or something like that with a bunch of kids from school, I'd be like, "All right, sweet. Can Bruce come?"
And they'd be like, "Is he gonna kill anyone?"
"Yeah." First question, be like, "Bruce, can Bruce come?"
No, Bruce is the freshie, right? He's the big guy with the hair.
Nobody called me Freshie.
No one called us
Nobody
Freshie.
fucking called me Freshie.
You'll literally don't mess around with those.
I want a plastic fork. Okay.
That mic just picked it up so well. Anyways,
Yeah,
when we were freshmen, I literally like all the seniors were like, giving me high fives and stuff.
Yeah,
I
that's
was,
fun.
I was like, oh yeah, sweet, seniors are awesome. And later I found out that's because they thought I was a senior exchange.
Yeah, they thought I had to explain to people. Like people were like, "I'm like,"
They're like,
yeah,
what school
no,
did you come from?
No, they were talking to me. They were like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Fucking freshmen." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, glad I'm not like them. They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, they're like, "Yeah." Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, "Well, I'm a freshman." They're like, "You're a fucking freshman." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a freshman." Like, oh,
All respect lost.
okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, but I had to explain to quite a few people that I wasn't a freshman.
I didn't. I had to too, but that was like near the end of the year.
Had to as well.
Had to as
Like
well.
Carol thought we were in her grade.
Go Carol.
Oh, Cal. Yeah, well, Carol.
Wait,
Carol-
we're saying last names?
Yeah,
Whoa.
Kathy.
We're gonna have to bleep it.
Yeah,
out,
it's
whatever.
fine. I don't care.
Okay, don't say last names.
We're gonna have to bleep
She
out.
might like it though. Who knows?
Oh, I don't care.
Fuck it. All right. But she was something else, dude. A redhead.
Oh, Alistair's into redheads, everybody.
Okay, next. Anyways, moving on.
I could. Well, remind me for later podcasts. I don't know how long we're gonna send this podcast for, by the way, but remind me for later podcasts. Put it on the paper. We're gonna need. I have so many more middle school stories.
All right,
So
I'll just write
many.
middle school.
Alistair's middle school stories.
Yo, dude. I was such a troubled child too.
It's cool, kind of being We were not too long ago. We were in school, so it's not. So it's pretty cool being able to have like
look back
such
at it now.
vivid memories. Also, stop fucking shaking the table, Alex.
Sorry. I'm trying to make some contraption.
I hate you.
You're dumb.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Also, Alex is a pretty cool guy. That's why we hang out with him.
Yeah.
And he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
I hate you.
You're so young. How young are you?
He's
15?
14.
Ow, you always get it wrong. I'm 15.
You were young as shit, dude.
He's 14.
I'm 15.
You're 14.
He's not 14.
1999.
He's gonna say 14 in my heart forever.
All right, he's gonna stay 14.
Tell everyone about how we've known each other forever now.
Oh yeah. Well, cool thing was
So let's explain our relationship first. So
Yeah.
my mom's mom, her name is Ellie.
Yep.
Ellie is Alistair's aunt.
Through marriage.
Alistair's aunt. Alistair. Yeah. Your aunt is my grandmother. His grandmother is my aunt. Now you can go on and tell your side.
All right.
So
So
they're like 50-second cousins.
well, basically, what happened was my mom is the only true child of my grandma and my grandpa. My grandma and grandpa got a divorce, and my grandpa went and married my nan. And my nan has a sister named Ellie, and Ellie has a daughter named Heather, and Heather has Alex. So Alex and I are technically cousins, but it's kind of weird because isn't your mom like adopted too?
I have no. Ellie gave birth to my mom,
Okay, well there we go. See,
and
Okay, so
my mom's actual
There's still no
dad's
blood.
passed.
There's zero blood relation there.
Yeah,
at
there's
all.
no blood relation, but it's.
I
there.
mean we're blood brothers though.
Oh yeah, did you actually cut yourself?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I-
we were
we-
5.
He fell and scraped his
Whoa.
knee, and then we were having a lightsaber battle. We both fell, and we were like, "Oh, my elbow!"
Al, you were a big guy. Even
I was like, "Oh, my elbow!" He was like, "Oh, my knee." And we're like, "Yo, want to be blood brothers?" And we just rubbed them together.
That's good.
And that's how I contracted
HIV.
tetanus.
You said AIDS, I said HIV, and you said tetanus. All
All right. Well, anyway.
Anyways, when you were like what 4?
Yeah, when I was 4, Alistair was like what 9?
Some
No, you're not 5 years older than I am. You're like 4.
Well, hold on. Let's see. You're 15, yeah?
I'm 15.
Yeah, I'm like 6 years older than you. Then.
What's your...
All right.
Jesus. Actually, I hung out with younger kids. It was weird, because I went I went from in middle school hanging out with younger kids, and then I went to immediately hang out with older kids. I don't know what was up with that.
Anyway, so yeah, I've known Alistair for a very long time, and
when I was a kid, let me just throw this in there real quick.
All right.
When I was a kid, I had no friends. I lived out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Very angry person. I had to deal with my dad. Had to deal with my mom.
Who are alcoholics, by the way.
I had to deal with my when I went to school. I got picked on. I actually, this is actually really interesting. I'm gonna bring this up real quick.
All right.
Or make a note of it, and I'll tell it afterwards. Yeah, make a note of it real quick for viewers.
Got it.
It was bullying Al Young. Just write that down.
Okay, I was right. Bullying Al. Well, I mean, we can talk about I was bullied when I was a kid. But
Well, no. I have this is like I had like an epiphany the other day. It was a big aha moment for me, and I want to kind of share it.
The way I look at it is I turn the tables real quick on those motherfuckers.
Well,
Oh my God, Bruce.
anyways, so I didn't have a lot of friends. Long story short, and the only friends I ever had was when Alex came over because he was related to Ellie. And he only came over. He came over once when he was 4, and I had been 10. He came over once, and he had an N64.
I had an N64, everybody.
Yo, a fucking N64.
Not bad. They're fucking good games on that shit.
Yo, and we had
Super Smash Brothers, maybe?
no, it wasn't. It was something. It was
another fighting game, right?
It was a fighting game.
It was Monsters fighting
You
game.
talked about this once.
And
when I was
we,
there.
to this day, we don't know what it's called. We should probably search it, but it was it felt like Mortal Kombat, but with like monsters and lizards.
But like
and
monsters and lizards.
Primal
and
Rage, maybe.
Maybe.
that
That
was
sounds
on.
right.
I thought Primal Rage was on the
And-
Sega.
I remember
Sega
you hit the B
Dreamcast.
button though. The B button was like your special.
Yeah.
And it was a grapple
Now-
that you could fucking spam. And like I remember the guy I always played as, like I would if I could get in close enough, he was shit. Like he had like bad attacks, but you could spam his special the fastest. So like the most fast.
Shove. That's another story.
Alistair, I thought you had your own N64 because I remember that I gave you that game in return for Mario Kart 64.
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
I don't like Mario Kart 64.
This
Mario
isn't
Kart
about
64 is my favorite.
Bruce,
I
this
don't
is
like
not
Mario
about
games.
you.
Okay.
I don't like
Not
Mario
about you.
games. I don't like racing games. Mario Kart 64 I love because they have the battle.
Yeah.
With
The
the
battle with the balloons and shit,
Yep.
but that's GameCube.
Is that game?
No,
that
that
was
was
on
N64.
I didn't play the N64 game. I tried to sit down and play it, and I was like, wow. Going off the GameCube, because I didn't get the N64, because I had an N64. That was my first console. I got it when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
I remember playing Super Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Kirby. I played a bunch of shit.
Ocarina of Time, nice.
Yeah, and then I played a bunch of shit like that from when I was like 3 to 9. Then I got a GameCube when I was, I must have been 9 actually, yeah, when I got my GameCube. And so then I started playing Mario Kart on the GameCube. And then I got Mario Kart 64. And then I went down to play it and I was like, wow, this is shit. I'm going back to Double Dash.
But anyway, so Al, so yeah,
Mario Kart
I
Double
would
Dash.
I would go over to see his grandmother because Aunt Ellie, she didn't live next to Aunt Gina yet.
Right.
She lived in a Cleveland spot.
Right.
So I had gone down there like once for like the weekend to see my Aunt Gina.
And it just happened to come down, and or maybe she came up again. Either one. All right.
Yeah.
And instantly best friends. Like
It
was so fast, and pretty much it was all because of this video game. And I remember he had it, and I remember hanging out with him almost this one fucking weekend. All right, and ever since then I remembered him, and I would go down there like from that weekend. I would go down there every weekend, and I'd be like, "Hey, is he back? Hey, is he back?" And I did that for a solid like 3 months.
Yeah.
I came down every weekend. And I was like, "Hey, is he back?" And then from there, it was like every once a month. I was like, "Hey, is Alex around?" And they were like, "No, Alex isn't around." Blah blah blah. And then I just he just kind of like faded. To be honest.
No. Let me explain a few things. So I don't remember only going there once. I remember going there maybe every other week because I know my sister would go down.
You were there
too.
a couple times.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't just
the time,
once. Yeah.
The time I'm thinking of was when we made the trade, and we were like, "I'll be back next weekend.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the game
Once
back."
we made the trade, we never saw each other for
we
like
made the
5
trade.
years.
We made the trade, and we're like,
Scumbag.
"No,
it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
We were like, because we thought we were gonna see each other next weekend, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, you can borrow this for the week," and he's like, "Sweet, I'll borrow this for the week," and
I
fucking
just
disappeared.
Yeah,
just gone.
I don't remember. Maybe I just couldn't go that week. Maybe I don't know. Something must have happened because I remember I never went there again. But I remember
It was like 5 fucking years.
Yeah, no, before we get that, we have to talk about more of the past, so it means more. Anyway, so I remember all the stuff with that, like, I remember going to the dollar store.
Yo, the
You remember
fucking
that?
dollar
Dude,
store.
the dollar store was me and Alistair's life. We used to buy the, those, like, remote control cars that weren't wireless, they were actually connected by a wire,
Yeah.
and they only had go and turn left. They
That
didn't have
sounds
you remember that?
That sounds ass.
No, they didn't have a turn right, it was just turn left, so it was go, turn left, and I think it had a reverse, too, but maybe.
It did not.
Alright, and then we
Go and turn left.
we bought 2 of them, and then we just would race them. And then I remember one day we got like squirt guns and
Race until you can get to the end of the fucking cord. What?
It's funny you say that. We used to set up
Oh, the
tracks.
controller got yanked out of my hand first. I would.
we used to set up tracks and it'd go like halfway around the track until we had to like start walking with it.
yeah, I remember that. It's clear as day.
Who
And, like,
thought that was a good idea? Who
yeah,
bought
people
one?
who like
it's a
NASCAR.
dollar store. It's a
Okay.
dollar
People
store.
who like NASCAR.
Yeah, we
booths.
got the joke.
All right. So anyway, so now,
Oh my
now
God.
maybe I don't know. I was only 5, so maybe not even 5 years. Like 7 years. It was a long time.
It was a long ass time.
So 7 years later,
Aunt Ellie's next door now.
yeah. So
It was like right after she moved in next door.
Yeah, so hold on. My grandmother is now living next door to my aunt, so which is his grandmother. And the reason we went over there was because for a while my sister had been going over to my nan's house, which she's my grandmother, I call her my nan. So for a while she's been going to my nan's house, and so she's been going there for a while. And my mom said, "Hey, we're gonna go pick up your sister. You want to come with?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll go with you." I went there, and we walk inside, and I see this huge guy, right? I walk in there, I say to my grandma, then I turn to my right in the living room, and I see this huge dude.
Like playing dress up or some shit.
No, it wasn't dress up. You were, it's hard to explain. So, she was on her hands, and you were holding her on her legs, and you were standing up, and she was, how do you explain it? She was,
Wheelbarrowing?
yeah, wheelbarrowing. It's kind of like that. Which sounds weird, but
Sounds like a sex move.
it is. It actually is, but don't not say that. So she's like, walking on her hands, and Alistair's holding up by her legs, and she's pushing her. It was great. It was funny. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, who is this guy? And then,
Someone mentioned that we had seen each other a while ago.
and so that happened.
We sat down and we were like,
yeah,
wait a
we're
minute.
pondering. We're like, wait a minute.
Where
Didn't
the
you
fuck
take-
is my Mario
Yeah,
64?
exactly. Exactly. I'm like, I let you borrow my Mario fucking 64.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Well, no, literally, what happened was what happened was I saw you, you saw me, and we were like, who are you guys? And then we were told that we knew each other from like 7 years ago. And once we both came to the realization at the same time, we both instantly knew. And as we knew, instant like connection again,
Reconnection.
like
It was
instant.
amazing.
Like imagine like covering like so you have like a campfire.
Yeah, I remember-
No, listen.
Okay.
You have a campfire, right?
Yeah.
And if you even like light a match, put it in the middle, burns up. Imagine covered in oil. Just light it up, threw the match in there, just boom, huge spark immediately.
I'll just say, I love Alex's analogies because they never make sense to me.
But
That one did.
That was
okay,
a very
okay, yeah, alright. So I remember, Al used to put up with a lot of your shit.
Yeah, I did.
You were a fucking asshole when you were a kid.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yo,
Like, you were pretty cool, but you were an asshole. Like,
Yeah, well.
you were cool, but you could be a real douchebag.
Yeah.
I remember the whole thing was we didn't have any game consoles. My N64 was gone. He never brought his.
No,
I didn't have one.
Or like the game, you had GameCube and you never brought it. Like we just didn't have any game system, so all we would do was Ellie had internet. And we used to sit down in front of the computer. Our whole our whole hanging out thing, we us sitting down in front of
All
the
me
computer
and Alistair did was
and
watch
watching like
YouTube.
stick figures on crack.
Yeah, I
so
remember
many
that.
times.
Over and over again.
Yeah, and like
And
we used to like watch Lego animation and stuff. And what ended up happening was our relationship suffered for a while because I would be like,
okay, can I just pause? You guys sound like such a fuck. It was like instantly, just like the spark was there. It was like a
dude.
fire. It was like a fire. Oh my god. All right.
I love this
Our
kid.
relationship suffered a little bit in the later years. I'd call it middle lower years is when I'd say things took a turn.
listen.
All right.
Listen.
As much
So-
of a married couple as you two sound like.
he started getting really
Incest is the
annoying.
best.
He started getting really annoying because he was becoming an internet hog, And our relationship kind of suffered, and he stopped coming over as much for a while.
Oh yeah, for a while, dude, because I just didn't have time to. I didn't want to at all.
Yeah, it was like why would I go over there? So like it was kind of dumb. And then
you can only watch stick figures on crack so many times.
Yeah, until it loses its
And
mind.
if somebody gets hit in the face with a lightsaber now, they get a broken jaw. So.
Yo, the lightsaber battles got
intense.
in the later years.
Hold on, before we get to that, let's just keep going.
And pretty much what ended up getting us back together was PS3.
PS3, Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
Video games were the thing. We started making videos.
Oh,
if you guys can find those, they'll go up.
I know exactly where they
They'll
are,
go
and
up.
I do not want... they're up, and they're there. They're on my old YouTube channel.
We'll put them
Oh
up.
my god.
And I'm
we'll put a link
and I'm
at
10
some
years
point.
old, and my voice is higher than an air balloon.
Dude,
And
I remember I didn't see you for like 3 months, and then you came back and you're like, hey, my name's Alex.
Yeah.
I'm like, Alex, did you get hit by a truck? Did you get hit by a fucking truck and the guy came out and gave you, like, you fucking... What are you doing with the fucking...
I want to scratch my
Leave
back.
them alone.
I got one.
Okay, so I was just wondering if you got hit by a truck and the guy came out, and the guy who came out was like fucking Chuck Norris, and like Chuck Norris's half-brother.
He
And
gave
then
me some
He
testosterone.
put his lips on yours, and you instantly just... Then your
Boom.
lungs just... Boom!
Alright, so anyway, continue, Al.
Basically, we started getting back together because of YouTube and because of PS3, and that was really fun. And then I remember I was like, hey, there's someone I want you to meet. And you were like, who's this person? I don't want to meet anybody. I want to just stay here and play video games with you. And I'm like, no, he plays video games too. I don't know. You're going to love him. His
That's
name is
all
Bruce.
I did. That's all I did when I was a kid.
Yeah, I was like, you're going to love him. His name is Bruce. I then had a conversation with Bruce. And I was like, hey,
I remember that.
my cousin's going to come over. I don't know if you're going to like him.
Yeah, that was the conversation. And then I'm like, why wouldn't I like, after that, I was like, why wouldn't I like him? He's a nice, like, if you brought over people who I don't like. I don't remember what their names are now because I don't want to. But you've tried to introduce me to people and I'm like, this guy's a fucking asshole.
I know, I brought them over, but I realized you don't like them. I only brought them over once, though.
Yeah.
Alex, I brought over once. You guys had like an instant connection. Like
Oh yeah, I will be honest. Me and you did really kick it
Because
off.
I used to play Call of Duty on the PS2 because that's what I had. I didn't get a next gen system for. I don't think I've ever had a modern system.
Xbox 360?
No, I didn't get that till like 4 years after it came out.
I'll be honest, Al.
I didn't get a Nintendo 64 until like probably the gap from when I got the Nintendo 64 is probably smaller than the gap between when I got a 360.
True.
I don't know
I
if
remember
that's
having
true or
a
not.
PS2
I'm
for
not
quite a
a
while.
fucking math whiz here, but
Like I remember, like 'cause you had the PS3.
I had a
and Modern Warfare
PS2
2.
for a long time, but it was a good console.
Yeah.
The PS3. The thing about my PS3 was, it was literally the only nice thing I ever got from my parents.
Yeah.
And it was shit.
And it was.
And it was shit because it would break. Because it would fucking break all the time.
My
not read
PS3?
discs. It would not read discs sometimes.
No, that's a different one.
That was
I know
the
what
new
you're talking
one,
about.
Oh, okay.
This is what happened. All right, the year before the PS3 came out. All right, I had been begging my parents. This is the time. The year before the PS3 came out, I had been begging my parents for a PS2. I'm like, I want PS2. I want my own game system. Skylar has one. Skylar's my older brother. Skylar got everything. Skylar was my parents' pet. He got everything he ever wanted when he wanted it, and I was left unloved. Alright, basically, he had a PS2 when it first came out. He had everything. He had an Xbox 360 when it first came out, and I got PS2 fucking finally. Literally 3 months after I got my PS2, PS3 came out.
Oh.
Instantly upset. I was like, I just got PS2, and now there's gonna be no games for it.
But it was cheap.
But it was cheap,
It was
true.
$100.
Yeah,
$100.
true.
I remember because mine broke. I bought a laser online and tried to replace it myself. I was pretty tech savvy as a child, at least as far as being young goes. But no, I tried to replace my own laser. That didn't fucking work. So I was like, all right, hey Dad, I'm cashing in that one nice thing a year. Need a new PS2.
Yeah.
That's how that worked. Because I'm like, you could just get me, PS3. How much is it? $600? Yeah. We'll get a PS2. Where's the PS2? Let's buy it right now. Shut up.
Shut up.
I remember the PS3, okay? The year after I got my PS2, we got the PS3 strictly because my brother wanted it. That was the whole thing. My brother wanted it, he got the PS3. My brother got a job, he had money, he still had main rights over the PS3. He would, the PS3 could not leave my house because my brother also owned it, and like, the year after I got my PS3...
I think we talked you into taking it over a couple of times to Zach's house.
Yeah, we talked me into...
Speaking of Zach, alright, we'll get on that tangent
Come on,
later.
just wait.
I remember Skylar got to the age where he was like 22, 21, and he was like, I'm moving out. Alright? This was the single biggest fight in my household history.
Who gets the PS3?
Yeah. There was lots of fights in my household. I'm not gonna lie. There was tons of fights, there was tons of arguments, lots of yelling, lots of screaming, lots of holes being punched in the walls, lots of people getting hit. Alright? But the single biggest fucking fight ever was over this PS3 my brother.
People got stabbed over that shit when it first came out.
Yo, yeah, no joke.
Not lying. People, like that guy who stabbed some other guy to death over his Xbox. Then when the PS4 came out, some other guys killed some guy and took his PS4. Like, it's a fucking rob a goddamn bank. Jesus, do something. Fuck.
Don't kill people.
Don't just fucking kill somebody. Then you can buy a PS4 with the money you get from the bank. Like fucking shit. Or a convenience store.
All right,
God, stupid.
So, the whole thing was, my brother was like, I'm taking the PS3. I'm like, no, you're not. He goes, yeah, I am. I go, you have a fucking job. You have money. A PS3 right now costs $200. You make that a week. Fucking save up $50 a week, you'll have it in a month. Save up, just take one paycheck, because you have nothing you don't have to worry about any bills right now. Just take one paycheck and buy yourself a new PS3. He goes, nope, not doing it. And I went to my parents, I'm like, why is he taking it? And they're like, oh no, because he wants it. I'm like, it's mine too. They go, yeah, but he can have this one. Why? Because you can have that one. He's moving out. You can take it. But he has a job. And if he takes that one, I will not have one. And I will have no way of getting one because I know you guys won't buy me one. He's like, whoa, blah, blah. And it literally was a fight for a solid 3 months. Like, every time I saw my brother, it would be the first thing that came out of our mouths. It wasn't like, hey, how are you? It was always like, I'm taking the PS3. No, you're not. Right? And it was just a huge fight. And, in the long run, what ended up happening was I went to school one day. And, while I was going at school, my brother took everything in his room, boxed it, put it in a truck, took the PS... In one day he did this. Packed up all of his stuff and moved into a new place. In one fucking day. Alright? Took the PS3 with him. I got home fucking livid. I was so mad. I was like, where's the PS3? They're like, oh, Scott took it. Why the fuck does he need the PS3? He can buy his own goddamn PS3. Where am I getting a PS3? They're like, oh, don't worry, your brother Alex has a PS3. I'm like, fucking Alex had the PS3 that first came out.
Okay, not this Alex. He has another brother named Alex.
Yeah, just different.
I'm like, Alex had a fucking PS3 when it first came out, and his PS3 is shit. It really was. It could only run one game because any other game had too high of a frame rate for it, and it would crash like PS3. That's how much of a shit game console this was. So the only game I could ever play on it was Resident Evil 5, because that was the only game that could actually fucking run on the thing without crashing it. Alright, this fucking pissed me off so much, and to this day, Skylar still has the same goddamn PS3, never had an issue with it, and his whole excuse for him being okay with taking that was, my gram bought Alex's PS3 for $50, and that's the PS3 I had. And he's like, well, I'm your PS3. I'm like, it fucking broke. And I was like, whose fault is that? The fact that the fucking PS3 is the first PS3 that came out has been 4 years.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? You know, but still, you know, fuck, you know?
You're just pretty worked up here, Al.
Yeah.
We should change topics or something and just get you off
Let's
this.
get all pissed off now.
Me and Bruce can just agree that what your brother did was awful. I mean, you're completely in the right, Al. I completely agree with you. So don't worry. You're good.
I never got anything as a kid.
I didn't.
Okay, well, can I say that the way I got my Xbox was my mom's girlfriend brought it for me?
Bought it for you?
Bought it for me? Okay, well, yeah, so my dad's girlfriend was the one who bought it for me.
You said your mom's girlfriend.
My father's girlfriend.
Oh, okay, so not your mom's
Not
girlfriend.
my mom's
I was going to ask, because wait a second, I thought...
No, my father's girlfriend
All
was
right.
the one who bought
Which
it for
girlfriend?
me. The one that's doing all this shit right now.
And we're not gonna mention her name?
No, we're not going to talk about that.
All
We'll
right.
just call her, we'll just call her,
No, it's not
Bitch.
just call her anything.
we'll call her a bitch.
We'll call her
no.
bitch.
Nah, well, anyways, she was the one who bought that. And, still, just...
I will
God,
laugh if she comes in here tomorrow and walks in here and sees another carpet, and on top of that carpet is your Xbox. She's like, didn't I buy this Xbox for you?
taking it.
She will. She'll fucking do
She
it.
probably will.
Yo,
I mean, she took... Okay.
hide your Xbox tomorrow.
Yeah, do it.
It's fucking in the drawer.
Okay, so
It's
I need to
hidden.
explain
It's already
something.
hidden.
So, you know those trays that hold your silverware? She came by, she took a lot of stuff, and the one thing that really bothers us all that she took was the tray that holds silverware.
It's fucking bullshit! She doesn't need that!
You can buy this at Market Basket for like $5, not even.
Okay, she has another house,
and
too.
yeah,
Like, she doesn't fucking... Alright.
She doesn't need it. She just took it just to be.
Also, can I say there's like a 52-inch flat screen TV that's been in that fucking trailer for like 5 months?
Yo, she's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. It's not gonna work.
And
she's not even gonna fucking care. You know why she's not even gonna care? She'll be, oh, at least they don't fucking have it. I'm out of TV, but I'll just buy fucking another one, because that's what I do. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking...
My girlfriend has a lot of money, by the way.
Is
Does
it
she
okay?
have a lot of
She
money?
doesn't have a lot of money. She just has... She's upper middle. We're lower middle. So, you know.
So is it
The
okay
middle
to
class
kind
is
of
huge, by the
explain
way.
the situation? Like, is it okay to kind of explain the
Okay,
situation?
well, I mean, I think people kind of picked up that my dad's girlfriend's moving out. Right,
Well, kind of explain why. Like,
well,
don't get, like, just explain why she's taking everything.
I don't even know why. She's taking, okay, well, my dad knows more about Al knows more about my dad's,
I asked.
Yeah, I didn't ask.
Well, then Al.
No, okay, so, we're not gonna fucking talk about that shit, but what we can talk about is the fact that she came by, took both of my computer chairs, which she bought, like, fucking how long? She bought those when I was 14, and then she's like, we'll have one for downstairs and one for upstairs.
And then they both came downstairs.
And they both came downstairs, because nobody fucking used them upstairs, because nobody fucking had any use for them except for me.
And then they'd been downstairs for how many years? Multiple years.
Like, several fucking years, and then... Like, okay, so my whole thing is, like, I'm a very hardcore isolationist. Like, I don't even know my parents that well. That's how hardcore of an isolationist.
Literally, Alex and I are the people that know him the most.
Yeah,
like him and him. Yeah, you two definitely know me better than either one of my parents, but I'm so hardcore, like I'm a very hardcore isolationist, so I don't really know what's going on in my own household, but I do know somebody came by and took two of my fucking computer chairs, alright? That's what I fucking noticed. It's okay, and I also fucking noticed that half of our silverware is gone, and there's no fucking tray to hold it anymore. I noticed there's no fucking stove or fridge. And, yeah, I noticed some of that shit.
And then she took one of your rugs.
And she took one of my rugs, and I swear to God that John gave that to us. Fucking shit. Ugh, I swear that was ours.
She was the fist. Bruce lives in the basement, okay, and to get into the house, a majority of the people just go through the bulkhead and walk straight through his room to get into the upstairs. Even though there's 3 upstairs entrances, they come through the basement. To get
Why the fuck would you come? Alright, now I'm getting worked up. See, like, there's no build up. Like, for most people, they'll get progressively more angry and work themselves over.
Yeah.
Me, it's just, I'm generally calm until I hit the fucking snapping point, and then I yell everything I say.
So anyways, she walks through downstairs, and there's a bunch of shit in the other room, in the other half of the basement that's like hers, because she bought everything and anything she saw for no fucking reason.
Because she's one of those people who just buys everything she comes, like, I mean, it's not like, because we always used to be like, hey, what are we doing? Hey, we're putting up 2 beams and we're making an archway in the bedroom. How much fucking, that's $2,000! I haven't had a birthday in 3 years, and you're spending $2,000 putting a fucking arch in your bedroom! Anyways, okay. Okay.
Also, she deemed some things important and other things not important. Like, Bruce would be like, hey, I want this video game. A video game, Bruce? Is a video game what you really need?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
What we need is more drapes. Because our drapes...
Oh my God.
Our drapes are out of date.
It's like, she can spend to be fair, it's her money, so I don't really give a shit about how she spends all of her money on drapes. But I mean, if you're gonna fucking get me gifts, give me things that I would want. Like,
oh, Bruce, I changed the drapes.
No. Let's look around here. I'll fucking find something that she got me that I did.
Was that one of them?
That hat?
No, that my dad's like, hey, this was free. Do you want it? I'm like, shit, yeah. No, I don't fucking know, because I don't keep them, because they're... No.
Guitar?
No, I bought the amp. She bought... Okay, here, let me explain. A good analogy of what type of person she was. So I play the guitar, and I got into the guitar when I was 13. And I bought my first guitar, and I bought a shitty amp, and now I have a better amp that I bought myself. But I got a shitty amp because I'm not just a permanent bum. I have had jobs, but no. I have an amp, and I have my guitar, and And
She bought you a
I'm
pick.
using her guitar because when we first went back a long time ago, when I first got my guitar, and I'm like, hey Dad, I really want to get into this because they're trying to throw money at me. The first way they tried to throw money at me, they're like, do you want to go set up some cool stuff in your room? Like, do you want to get some, like, nice decorations for your room? I'm like, cool, let's go do that. I wanted to, like, get fucking posters up and shit, and, like, all kinds of cool stuff. And, like, come to figure out, we went to, like, some kind of woman's, like, some kind of middle-aged woman's idea of, like, some kind of, like, a decor store. And I'm like, what am I gonna get here? Are there any posters? Like, oh, no, you're not putting posters on your wall. I'm like, why the fuck am I here? You dragged me out. It's fucking Saturday. Toonami's on tonight.
I have better things to be doing. I could be masturbating right now.
Exactly. But no, Toonami actually had been canceled at that point, but it was a funny joke.
Yes.
But no, literally, like, like, are you kidding? Like, and then, so I go home, and then, like, that was, like, the first attempt to throw money at me. They're like, Bruce, do you want to get into something productive? Something that'll, get you places in life? And I'm like, sure, you know what? I want to fucking play guitar. Let's go fucking get a guitar. So they bought me a $300 guitar. Or not a $300 guitar. They bought me like a $75 guitar, and then she bought herself a $200 electric guitar.
That she never used.
That she knows how to play like one song on the acoustic.
Oh my god.
And that's that Ibanez right there. She forgot she bought it, so it's mine now. She forgot it's hers, so it's mine.
I hate her so much now.
No, but the Ibanez behind you is, that's mine now. It's a $200. It was used when she bought it, so it's a very nice guitar. She bought it for absolutely no reason and completely forgot about it, but it's mine now. So
That's how you know you're kind of like you're not good with money is when you buy something and then you forget you have it.
Especially when it's $200. You know what I could do with $200 fucking dollars?
Buy 3 more mics.
Buy
2 more mics, pretty much.
Yeah, because I already have $57. Like because we already got $57 going towards that. So I mean, plus $200.
Where's your input on this, by the way?
My mom owes me $240 for paying a phone bill.
He's still in school. He doesn't have a. Yeah. Anyways,
she hasn't paid me back yet. So as soon as she does, that $130 is going to Bruce so that he can put on his debit card, or whatever, and buy another mic.
All right, guys, we gotta wrap this up pretty soon.
I don't wanna.
I know it's so fun. We're at 57 minutes.
Is that really?
Yeah, we're at 57 minutes.
That felt like 3 hours.
No, it didn't.
I thought it went pretty quickly.
Well, let's get one more story in there.
Okay, one more.
All right.
thing.
Well.
Let's finish up this story real quick.
Okay,
yeah. All right. So what happens is there's a lot of stuff in the other room. All right, and it's on the other side of the basement. And she comes down through the upstairs. And at this point, she's upset for some fucking reason. She's like, I can't believe I have to take all of my stuff out of this house. Like, who the fuck are you? Okay, anyways. So she's all upset, and she comes through, and, she sees this, as she's walking through on Bruce's floor, because Bruce has a cement floor, and has no carpets, she sees, like, a bunch of these, like, carpets that we have put down. Because he doesn't have carpet, he has rugs. We have put a bunch of rugs down, and one of them was like a fucking puma, and it was fucking
No,
dope.
it was a fucking leopard. It was a fucking leopard!
It was a leopard.
It was a leopard rug! Okay, sorry.
It was a leopard rug, and it was fucking dope. Alright, and it was on the center of his floor, in front of his couch, and there was chairs next to it and stuff, and she's walking through, and she looks down. Bruce, calm
Gave
down.
that to me. I swear to fucking God, John. That's my fucking rug. I will get that back someday. I swear to God.
She looks down, and she sees this rug, she goes, this is my rug. She looks up, she's
Where was I? What?
Bruce, here, squeeze this. Okay, that wasn't so hot.
So, alright, I'm good.
Grab
I'm
that's
good.
not
I'm good.
So
So just try to stay away from words like, we saw her, and then and words like, we didn't know what she was doing, and stuff like that, because I feel like if I had been there, things would have gone better, so let's just...
Bruce had been upstairs, and I was standing here, and I was, like, kind of helping with stuff. And, they walk by, the thing happens, she looks up to the person next to her and goes, this is mine. And she proceeds to move everything completely out of the fucking way. So that way she has way more than enough room. And then tells people to stop moving the floor tiling out. That way she can roll it up and walk outside with it and put it in her car. So it didn't even go into like the big trailer that's been outside for a year now. So that way if we wanted to, we can go out there and fucking open it up and take it back.
It's locked. We don't have the fucking key.
Yeah, she locked it, by the way, but she had it for a while. I don't know why she all of a sudden was like, I'm locking this.
Yeah, so this trailer she brought there has
It's
honestly
fucking
been sitting...
huge.
It's huge.
It takes up a good Like, I have a big driveway, and that shit takes up like 25%
So
of my
imagine
driveway.
like you're.
Because we live in the fucking woods, so everybody's driveways around where we live is fucking long. So if you live in the city, like, you don't know. Driveways are fucking long out
So
here.
imagine your stereotypical suburban home where like the driveway is maybe like
It's like-
maybe
it's
2
like-
car lengths
It's
long.
like it's like 10 yards ish.
Yeah, imagine
and-
double that, and that's how big this trailer is. It's massive, and it's got a bunch of Bruce's stuff that's not really his, but you know what I mean.
No, he has a bunch of shit in it.
It's got a bunch of stuff in it
got
that's
a
been
bunch,
sitting there.
It's got all the stuff that was nice in our house.
It's been through 2 winters. It's no like one winter and this next winter coming up, so it's gonna be through 2 winters.
Yeah.
All right, and that's a long
and it's
time.
had a fucking TV, a fucking like
Flat screen TV, like what 50 something inches.
And my fucking chairs are in there, aren't they? Shh. No, wait, they're not. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I forgot. My chairs are not in there. I just remembered that when that trailer did first show up, you guys took my rolly chairs in and started fucking going around in the fucking U-Haul.
That was
The
fun.
trailer's big enough for us to like. We made a race cart with the wheelie chairs in there because it was just so big. And
Anyway.
I remember the whole thing about this situation was afterwards walking around upstairs was super sad.
Oh yeah, it was, dude.
It was that was like the biggest like heart wrenching thing.
We
about
came
it.
back inside.
So fucking
Bruce was mad. Bruce was mad. Okay, but Alex and I were like we went for a walkthrough of the
Because
house.
I asked Al, I said, so I understand the situation, but how much of this is actually and so he goes, all right, let me show you.
And
That
we-
fridge, gone. Stove, gone. Most of the pots and pans, all gone. Brings into the bathroom. He says, washer dryer, nope. All these towels and stuff, nope. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
We walk out. Then we get to we get to the living room. And like you see that and that. Those like 5 things. He goes, yeah.
That's essential for living room?
I go, no. So you see those 5 things? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah. At this point, by the way, the living room is completely full of like boxes and stuff. I say, you see that right there? You see that stand? You see this stand? You see this couch? Yeah. Those are staying. Everything else is gone.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the entire living room, like there's only 3 things in the living room that was left. I walked into Don's room.
Oh, this is the worst part, because Alistair walks me into his room, and I said, he goes, Don's got like a walk-in closet full of clothes. I'm like, so Al, how much of these, like, clothes, how much of this is actually Don's? And he maybe mapped off, what, like,
No, I didn't even map off anything. I looked around, and I looked back at Alex, and I go, Alex, none of this is Don's.
yeah.
This is all of Dawn's clothes are in that one dresser over there.
We said her name. Oh, we'll just leave it out.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't fucking care.
All of her stuff isn't all of Dawn's stuff is in that one dresser right there. There's like this little dresser that's like a normal dresser. It has like 5 shelves in it. Right? It's all of Dawn's stuff. The entire walk-in closet was all her stuff.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Also, renovating a walk-in closet.
She turns an entire There used to be 3 rooms where your dad's room is right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's now 1 room with an entire walk-in closet that is big enough to be another room. Like I could live in that room and be comfortable. That's how.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like I don't. It's fucking dumb. It's dumb. Like I don't care if I have a shitty house when I grow up, as long as I have nice stuff in it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't feel. I feel like that's more important than if I have a small house with nice stuff. That's fucking. Thank you, please. I would love that. If I have a fucking nice house with a bunch of shit in it, what the fuck good does that do me? One fucking person. I don't know. Anyways,
All right, I think we're gonna wrap up this one and look out for part 2.
one more fucking thing. Or,
Okay.
our
One
more
next,
thing?
our
One more
next
thing.
podcast. There's one fucking thing that I was
Okay.
really pissed about, but I forgot what it was.
Okay, find out what Bruce is pissed about next podcast.
All right.
This
I'll fucking, because we're going to probably record the next podcast right now.
Yeah,
but
right now.
I'm probably just going to fucking, I'll just yell it out in the middle of the next podcast when I remember it, so.
All right, so thanks guys for watching. A lot of emotions were brought up. Right now, it's kind of solemn.
Yeah. Well,
Titties.
next time, expect some Bruce anger. Next time, Bruce anger. Maybe some stuff from me, and probably not a lot from Al. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, there's 2 things on the list I want to talk about. So we got.
All right.
Who had a more fucked up childhood, you or me?
I definitely did.
Yeah,
think so?
definitely.
But
Yeah.
you don't know my childhood.
You told me. End the recording.
Okay.
Okay, bye, guys.
All right, see you guys.